So my weekend and nights project has been compiling old VHS tapes that I haven't seen in 30 years, maybe. And it's crazy. Like, I mean, I have all these old tapes. I have this little rig set up right here. I got more tapes over here. You know, when I think about back then, we were just kids. You know, I found some shots of Amanda and I when we were 16 years old. It's funny because the first 16 years of life felt so long. Felt like we had lived a lifetime at 16, and it's been exactly 30 years, and I feel like we haven't even started living yet. And it just goes to show you like how fast time speeds up. And those early memories just being so raw, but seeing them, physically seeing them, because your mind only records certain things, certain events, seeing them, the interaction, even our dialect was different. It's just crazy. And I was thinking about when we were little kids, because I sent some videos to my son and daughter, and my son's like, why do you guys have such an accent? And I said, well, and hang on, because I'll show you a clip that I found here. If you just are patient with me. Why do you guys have such an accent? It sounds so funny. He's like, it's really cool. He's like, the way you guys sound is so cool, but like, where does it come from? And the only thing I could think of is that our world was a 10-mile radius from where I am right now. That was our world. And that was our worldview. There was no phones. There was no social media. There was no internet. We didn't even have TV except for one or two channels. And to get anything, there was no cable television. When I grew up, you had to turn the wheel in the big antenna on the roof of the house would do this, right? Or until you got a show. And normally it was local television. A television show I used to watch was called Maine. And I think this is part of the reason I'm so interested in manufacturing, is because that's the only show that I could watch on the weekend that would show up on my little television. And this guy would go all around the state of Maine showing all the manufacturing facilities. And every weekend there would be a new facility. We never ran out of manufacturing. Everything from furniture to textiles to footwear and fabrication and shipbuilding and everything in between. And it was fascinating for me as a kid who loved to work with my hands. I mean, I grew up painting and drawing and doing sculpture, clay sculpture and pottery. And I was kind of an odd kid because I was a super good athlete. I was a really good athlete, but I also love artistic endeavors. But our worldview was just so small. Yeah, we had National Geographics in the house and encyclopedias, and there was a local library, but there was no experience. You know, we weren't talking to people from far off places having meaningful conversation. It was just us and our little tight-knit community, and you can see that. And so that's one thing my son asked me about, was just the dialect, like how we sounded. And then the other thing he said was, everybody looks so healthy. You know, everybody looks like they're in just such good shape. He's like, you really can see how food has affected, you know, the world, has affected America. And so although I have all these memories, you know, and I think I know what things look like. I think I know how things sounded. I think I know what our worldview was. It's really not until I watched some of these tapes that I had no idea. Even though that first 16 years of life felt like an eternity. It felt like a full lifetime. The last 30 years have been fleeting. It's been fast. And I know the next 30 are going to be probably 10 times faster than the first 16. So you got to make the most of it. This is part of the reason, as an entrepreneur, as a founder, I take big risks. And it's the reason why you should take a risk on yourself, because you're not getting back this moment. You're not getting back yesterday or the day before, the month before, the year before. You're only going to get what you gain by doing and taking action on whatever that thing is you're doing. There was a quote. I was doom scrolling on Instagram last night or the night before, and there was a quote. It said, "People overestimate risk, and they underestimate opportunity." And that thing hit me like a ton of bricks, because it just resonated with me. People are always like, you take big risks, or what, how did you get to whatever, going all in on something, head first, arms tucked, and outside of not fitting in the world, it was isn't that what life's about? Isn't it about risk? Isn't that what our first generation immigrants were here for? Isn't that about taking risk? How did we forget that? It's the only thing I ever knew, because I only knew a 10-mile radius. My whole life existed in a 10-mile radius and the occasional trip to Massachusetts for a holiday. And so anything beyond the 10 miles was risky. When I first got my license, driving to Portland, Maine felt like such a big deal. The first time I drove to New York City, I was like white knuckled. Like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm driving to New York City, the Big Apple. And over the years, that worldview has grown while the world has shrunk. Like, everything has become available, but now the thing that was so big outside of my 10-mile radius, that huge thing that could never be understood, that could never be explored, that could never be conquered, is now this freaking big. It's tiny. And I'm glad that young kid that I watched in these videos didn't know that, because it's the unknown. It's not knowing. It's the idea of what's out there that inspires you to explore. And for a lot of people, it's that thing out there, the unknown, that forces them into fear. And I've seen that too. I've seen people's worldviews in their 10-mile radius shrink and get smaller, not bigger. I've seen minds shut down and close off versus open up and become available. So it's been phenomenal looking at all these old tapes, 1998, 2001, old sports from junior high and high school. And I'm going through all these because we've been working on this documentary, and the filmmakers want access to all this stuff. And I was like, I better go through this stuff first, because I said a lot of stuff when I was a kid that if it ended up on Instagram, I'd probably get canceled. Like, we didn't bite our tongues. The worldview was so small. Like, we said shit that today, wouldn't be cool. So let me make sure I go through all that stuff. And while I'm going through these tapes, I found 2 tapes. One, a friend that got killed in a horrific car accident coming back from skiing, and another one who took his own life. I found footage of him too, and so I'm going to scrape that and I'm going to give it to their parents, and I think that would be really appreciated. Like finding some old footage that you never knew existed of your children. So that's going to be pretty powerful too. So a little silver lining to this. Anyways, here's a clip. This is a clip of Amanda and I. I've been writing a book, and this is the year the book starts that I've been writing. Her and I, a lot of people think we're a power couple, but really we came together through a tragic event, and this clip was maybe 8 or 9 months after that took place, and so we were dating at the time, and she was upset because I had figured out what she got me for Christmas. And that's the blessing of ADHD is, you put these little pieces together. And so I'm explaining to her what had happened. How did I know? Because she was very upset that I found out. And it's like, well, I heard this and that and the other thing. And then all of a sudden I just put it together. And my mom's filming the whole thing. And I'm trying to get her from hating me because I figured it out. So, anyways, doesn't matter where you start in life. Our little 10-mile radius, our worldview, it could have kept us in a prison, because that would have been easy. But we wanted more. Amanda and I both wanted more in life, but we wanted to stay home and do more for our hometown. As the brain drain started happening, we didn't want to leave. We wanted to be here. We wanted to raise our kids here. And we wanted to improve our community and the things around us because we had lost so much. So here's those two kids.
I'm so mad. You're not getting it. I can't do it. I'm so mad.
Look at the pictures.
Shut up, baby. Don't even talk to me.
Amanda, I figured that Dustin was throwing, Josh was probably catching, and Jeremy was probably catching and running. So I was like, hey.
He overheard me telling Rachel.
What? Oh, what is?
What is
Do you know what it is?
Look at this, Mom.
Do you know what it is, Mom?
Oh, hon. Oh,
Yeah.
fine, don't even hug her.
Well, I'm glad this isn't before a lacrosse game.
Oh.
Let's see your ring, Amanda. Let's get a close-up of the ring. Oh, this isn't doing close-ups very good anymore. Oh, yeah. That's pretty.
That's
Well, I see
perfect.
it's beautiful.
Anything you want to say for posterity?
No.
Well, let's give me a hug for the camera, even though. Man, this is all. We're gonna be watching this sometime. You're gonna be laughing.
No.
I hate my voice on camera. Ma, see that picture over there?
Uh-huh, which one? Oh, the one you're drawing of her?
No, not the painting. The picture of it.
Yeah.
You want to sit on the bench?
Probably. Am I?
What?
Such a jerk. Huh? You just spoiled your Christmas from Jeremy. Good for me?
I didn't spoil it. You spoiled it.
Did he listen on purpose?
Mom, I was sitting right here. The phone rang. I hear, Jeremy's catching the ball pictures. That's all. I mean, I heard them separate times. And I was like, Jeremy's catching the ball like that. And I heard it like that. And I was like, huh? Okay. I thought she was talking to Rachel about football season. Then I heard pictures like that. And then all of a sudden I just knew. And I go, yeah, I'm probably running the ball. Dustin's probably throwing it. And then I was thinking, oh,
So what's the picture of?
I have no idea.
Oh.
But Amanda's mad at me for her wrongdoing.